Welcome back for another exciting math video. Maybe I'll mix it up sometime and do an art video on here. But today what we're going to talk about are operations of integers, and specifically we're going to be talking about subtraction. So let's take a look at an example here. Let's say we have the subtraction of 5 minus 7. Now, if we see it on a number line, we see that we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. So we're 5 out here. And then it says we need to move in the negative direction 7. So let me extend this out a little bit in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just go out -5 here. So it says we move in the negative direction 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So where we end is at -2. So 5 minus 7 is -2. Now some of you might not like this idea of using a number line every single time, which completely makes sense. So when we look at this, we could look at it as a sense of creating an addition problem out of it. So if we are subtracting 7, we could write this as 5 minus a positive 7 because we're subtracting and this 7 is positive. What we could do with this then is say, since we're subtracting, we can add the opposite of this one. So in this case, you're adding a -7. So add the opposite. So instead of it being 5 minus 7, we're actually saying 5 plus a -7. And so then we can apply those rules that we talked about with addition, saying that if we have a different sign, because we have a positive 5 and a -7, we find the difference of their absolute values. So the absolute value of 5 is 5, and the absolute value of -7 is 7. So we say 7 minus 5 is 2. And then we take the sign of the 1 with the greater absolute value. So we could do it that way no matter how big the numbers are. So let's say we have 256. Well, let's make it a -256 minus 500. So again, since we're subtracting a positive, then we need to take and we need to add a -500. And now we can look here and say, okay, we have the same sign, so we find the sum. So we say 500 plus 256 is 756, and then we take their sign. Since they're both negative, then our solution is going to be negative. Okay, let's take a look at one more example and apply this rule of adding opposites. So let's say that we have a subtraction of 4 minus a -3. Since we are subtracting a negative, let's apply this rule, adding the opposite, and say 4 plus the opposite of a -3 is a +3. And so we say, okay, 4 plus 3 is 7. So our solution there is 7. You might hear people say, if they see minus a negative, I had one student tell me that it creates a superplus, which if you want to look at it that way, he always showed it to me this way and would come in here and write this big plus sign over the top and to where it was 4 plus 3. I can look at it in the sense of English, and you can't have a double negative. A double negative actually creates a positive. So then again, you're saying 4 plus 3, which is what we determined here. But one rule that seems to apply whenever we're subtracting is that we can add the opposite of the number that's being subtracted, and then apply our addition rules in order to find the solution. So thanks for watching.